Never let yourself go. No matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, whether you're a teenager, adult, baby, whatever. I know I'm kind of pushing it with this, but never let yourself go. It is really that simple. No matter what, each and every day, always strive to be a better version of yourself in every aspect of life. It's kind of what I said before. Treat life kind of like a video game, like you're always leveling up your character. Because when you get too comfortable, that's when bad things happen. That's when your health starts to decline. That's when your money starts to you start to make less money. That's when you start to form bad relationships. So ultimately, comfort doesn't really get you far. Yes, am I saying that you should never have a comfortable time at some point in your life? No, you should have a comfortable time. Like, everybody needs to relax at some point. I know you'll see these people online talking about how I worked for 18 hours, no sleep, and then I went up the next day after 1 hour sleep and did it all again. Like, you hear it all the time, and I mean, they might be telling the truth, but at some point in their life, they have to relax, simply to let their body function properly. And I'm all for that. But there is such thing as being too comfortable and being too relaxed to the point where there is no more improving, to the point where your life becomes stagnant. I can ask you this question. Would you rather live a life that literally looks like this for your entire life, from the day you're born to the day you die? If it just looks like this, like it's just a straight line, there's no super positives, there's no super negatives, it's just a straight line, it's meh. Or would you rather live a life that is really high positive, but also really low negatives, but really high positive, and it's just like this, like it's like an up and down graph? Now, some of you might say, I want a meh life, and that's your decision, and that's okay. But I feel like you might have said you wanted the opposite. You want a super positive and a super negative. And that's going to come with growth, because to grow, you're going to have to make mistakes. That's just a fact. When you make the mistake, you learn from it, and you grow. That's why it'll go down, and you'll learn from it. So, like, you start right here. You make a mistake, you go down. You learn from a mistake, and you become better, and you go back up. And it's just like that all the time. So I guess I kind of want to break this down. So let's start off with health, because I think this is a big one that most people just give up on themselves. When you come home from work, I get it. You're stressed. You had a bad day. You're tired, whatever. But I say doing some type of activity, like a sport, or, going outside for a walk if that's your thing. If you live in a scenic area, go for a hike, or, enjoy the sunset, get outside, go lift, something active, and preferably outside if possible. If not, like if you're lifting and you're in a gym, whatever. But you get my point, though. I shouldn't say enjoying, but doing these active things actually will help boost your mood. So if you had a bad day, that's probably the best day to go to the gym, to play your sport, to do something like that, no matter how old you are, because that's what keeps you in shape, and that keeps you active. Do you really, like, if you're like the same age as me, right? Let's say maybe you're on that track to letting yourself go. Like, you're not really caring, you're not really active, maybe you think you're lazy or whatever. Just think of it this way. Do you really want to grow up, have kids, and then give them no one to look up to because you just let yourself go? And then also at the same time, if you have all these health issues, do you really want to sit there and ask yourself, am I even able to do this with my kid because I simply can't move properly? If you don't want that, it's better to start sooner rather than later. And I know a lot of you, and you especially, might hate me for saying that, but it's just a fact. And when you understand that, I'm messing up and it's time for a change, that's when good things happen. It's the people that sit there and act like nothing is wrong, that's when all the problems occur. It's when they get too comfortable. So, really, people always throw health away. Like, they really do. They're always just like, I don't really care about eating healthy. I don't want to be active. I don't want to do this. Oh, I had a bad day at work. That's no excuse. If anything, that's more of a reason to do it, because then you'll be happier after doing that activity. I get it. We get caught up in work. We Like I said, we have bad days, our time gets taken up, but if you really want to do it, and if there's something picking at you that's telling you, I need to do something, then listen to that voice, because it's a good thing to listen to. So, health above all. Second, let's talk about relationships. I like the traditional sense, so you might be different from me. But, so just understand, I'm looking at this from a traditional sense. This is my opinion. You either like it or you don't. It's your decision, right? For me, I think that no matter how old you are or how long you guys have been married or dating or whatever, never let that spark die. Like, it's too often that people, and I know people are gonna be like, oh, you're young, you'll understand when you get older. No, because I have control of that, and I will make sure that it doesn't happen. You know, simple compliments go a long way, and people give up on that. And they'll say, like, maybe, I'm not saying you gotta be overbearing and saying the same thing over and over again. No, be thoughtful in your answers, and you don't have to do it every day. But I'm just saying, like, people shit on just being good to your partner, and they wonder why their relationships are so ass. Like, seriously, like, you sit there and you listen to these people on podcasts and things, like these gurus, these dating gurus, of talking about how if you compliment your woman too much, or if you compliment this person too much, oh, it's going to lose its meaning. And yeah, sure it does. That's why you change it up. But simply complimenting, when did that become a bad thing? I don't understand. Like, I do understand. Like, when you say the same thing over and over and over again, like 50 times a day, yeah, it does lose its meaning. I get that. But a simple compliment, and I don't mean be bland and never change it up. Obviously, be different. That's what people are, I think, attracted to, is, you know, what makes you you. That's what makes you attractive. What makes you so much different than these other people? And I'm telling you, like, in relationships, a simple rose can take you far. And, like, if you're a girl and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? A simple compliment. Literally, like, guys never get compliments whatsoever. Guys never get told they're handsome. They never get told that, oh, I really like the way you work. They never get told that, oh, your mindset is amazing. They never get told this stuff. So when they hear that, it's completely unique. And that's what I'm saying. Like, compliments get you far. And I mean, hell, I mean, if you want to give your guy a rose, go for it. I mean, I wouldn't see it as a bad thing. It wouldn't be a bad thing to give your guy something, or a letter, or a little note that shows you appreciate them. It's literally just signs of appreciation. Never take your partner for granted. That is when your relationship dies. And I don't understand when people don't see this. They're like, oh, you're going to hate it when you get married. No, I'm not. Because the way I look at it is, somebody out there is my missing rib. And I know people are going to be like, romantic. Oh, it's disgusting. No, just hear me out. Whether you believe in God or not, I think we all can believe that, you know, there's someone out there for us. To me, that's my missing rib, because I'm looking at it through God's perspective. Am I going to seriously sit there and take my missing rib for granted? After everything she's been through with me, my tough times, my good times, she's always there for me, always by my side, always picking me up, always, you know, pushing through the hard stuff. If we argue, we never let it get to us, right? Am I seriously going to take that person for granted? No. But obviously most people will, and it's time to be different. You need to be different. Be yourself. Obviously, you might not be romantic. That might not be you. And might be a girl out there that's not romantic either. Then maybe you two click. Who knows? Everyone's different in their own way. But I'm telling you, whether you're romantic or not, appreciation goes a long way. And there's so many different ways to show appreciation. Some people like to take their woman on dates. If you're a girl, like I said, compliments, letters, simple just showing up. Like, always being there for them. Never, like, just walking away when they're through a hard time. And sometimes you might get in a situation where they're like, oh, I think it's better if I'm just alone. And that's your moment to reassure them that, no, it is not better for you to be alone. We're in a relationship. We're going to get through all this together. Simple as that. And these things will stick with people forever. Just like, okay, like if you get cheated on, that sticks with you forever. Let's be honest. You'll always look at everyone differently. You'll always be like, oh, maybe I'll get cheated on again. It's the same thing with this stuff. Just positive. That stuff sticks with you forever. If you care about it, obviously. If you don't, then that's not going to stick with you. But if you're like me and you care about that kind of thing, that stuff sticks with you and you're never going to forget it. So that's the second one. Relationships. People take their partner for granted, especially when they know they're a life partner, and it's like, no. You wonder why you're like, oh, my relationship's so bland, because you're not even trying anymore. You're like, oh, I got them, now it's time to stop. Same thing, like, say, like, at first you were this super fit guy or this super fit girl, and then you get with the one, or just in a normal relationship, and then you notice that you start gaining a lot of weight, or you start losing a lot of weight, and you just don't take care of yourself anymore. Just because you got in that relationship does not mean you have an excuse to be comfortable. No, do not let yourself go. If anything, when you get in that relationship, or let's say you do think that person is the one, that is more of a reason to keep working even harder than what you were before. Before you were doing it just for yourself. Great, that is good. I think that's amazing. Most people don't even do that. But once you get with that person that you think is the one, that's more of a reason to do even more, to work even harder at your health, at your business, at your life in general. Because now it's not just about you anymore. Now you got a second person in your life that's more important and that you might put in front of your life. And then who knows, maybe if you have kids, now you're going to put them above people, and that's just how it is. So what I'm saying is you don't realize it, but you're a constant representation, especially with your partner. So always put your best foot forward. Always be better than what you were yesterday. So like in relationships, like I said, don't let yourself go. Always show appreciation. You guys are together for a reason. It's time to show that. Don't be so afraid of it. If you seriously are going to sit there and overthink for the rest of your life about how you're going to get left because you say a simple compliment, or because you give them a rose, or you give them a letter, or you're yourself around them, you're going to live a miserable life. It's as simple as that. Like there's no workarounds. Like if you listen to these guys on social media and you wonder why romance is dead, like because you don't have a thought for yourself. You're thinking through these people that are just negative all the time. They're always like, oh yeah, she's my bitch. Oh yeah, she listens to everything I say. Oh, I don't let her argue. It's like, why are you listening to these people? They're like basically treating women like they're freaking like a slave or something. And that's not how it should be. I'm not here like for women empowerment. That's not why I'm making this video, or why I'm even saying the things I am. I'm just saying, like, in my eyes, both genders have roles. In my eyes, the man is supposed to protect, provide, put his best foot forward, just like the woman. The woman needs to put her best foot forward. And I think her job is to like nurture, simple stuff like that. Like be herself, be a woman. Same with the guy. And yeah, the guys are going to have their feminine side, let's be honest. The women are going to have their masculine side, let's be honest. The women are going to have their moments where they want to stand up for their man when technically that's a man position. And there's going to be times where a man is going to get emotional, maybe cry, and that's technically, to the society, a woman position. I don't agree with that, but hey, that's just how it's looked at. So that's what I'm saying, like, never take your life partner for granted. Don't take the people in your relationship for granted. You sit there and you wonder, why do they keep failing? Because nobody appreciates anybody anymore. It's just a simple fact. No one appreciates anybody anymore. You ever notice how you see videos online, they're like, oh, yeah, I just want a guy who's loyal, honest, this and that, and then all the comments are like, that's bare minimum. Bare minimum is like a lottery ticket nowadays. You'd be surprised. So if you just showed appreciation, imagine how long you're going to stick with that girl's mind forever. Same thing if you're a woman. Imagine how much you'd stay with that guy's mind forever if you just did a simple compliment. Like, guys do not hear that stuff. So no matter what gender you are, you need to show appreciation in some way. When you just let each other go, it's like you're lost respect for yourself and you lost respect for the other person. And it's not how it should be. I'm not saying you need to be a robot and, like I said, be up her ass 24/7. Or she's a robot and she's up your ass 24/7. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you should be constantly growing. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's no excuse. Like I said, this is all my opinion. So you have your own, but this is just what I'm saying. I'm just trying to help people, be better versions of themselves. And that's when I get down to number 3. Money. Finances. I think that you shouldn't get comfortable on that. And, like, obviously, like, do the job you want to do. Like, I'm all for that. No, not everyone's going to get rich. That's how it is. Like, let's be honest. But if you're the type of guy who there's just something telling you that you want to get wealthy, or you really want to get wealthy so you can do this thing, or so you can do that, or maybe you just want to make just enough so you can do the things you want to do. Like maybe you want to travel a lot. You don't need to be a millionaire for that. Maybe you want to just live in a normal house, but be full of experiences. Like I said, you don't need millions of dollars for that. You got to figure out what kind of lifestyle do you want and then go off that. But then once you figure out that lifestyle, then you should work hard towards it. And then when you get it, work even harder. Like I said, most of you, and once you're at that position, you probably are in a relationship. And these all three of these kind of connect a little bit. Like, yeah, they're independent, but they kind of connect too. It's like your money. Like if you have kids and you have a wife or a husband or whatever, the more money, the better. I mean, let's be honest. Like, yeah, that's just how it is. And like, it all comes down to what your goals are. But that's exactly the point of why I'm making this video. Never stop chasing your goals. You know, you want that romantic relationship. Well, you have to put work in for it. You have to, if you're not the romantic partner, but you want that, maybe it's time to be the romantic person. Put your heart out there a little bit. Get what I'm saying? And then like, you want a fit body, but you're fat. You want a fit body, but you're really skinny. Well, ask yourself, what do I have to do to get that fit body? It is not impossible. It really isn't. I've been through it. I used to be a very, very skinny kid. And I know on here I look skinny. I do. But when I take my shirt off, it's completely different. And I'm not saying it to flex. I'm really not. But I'm just saying, like, when you do work hard and you do work consistently, you will see progress in just about anything in life. You work hard in a relationship. You work consistently. You're going to see progress. And yeah, sir, in relationships, it's kind of different because there's a chance it doesn't work out. And I get that. But if you're in a relationship with that person, you're in it for a reason. Are you in it just for the fun of it? No, you shouldn't be. I mean, if you are, that's your own problem. You got to figure that out. But if you're not, and say like you're dating to marry or something along those lines, you got to keep just working hard. Like if you put consistent effort, then you're going to get it back to you, right? Everybody's heard that. It's kind of like positive karma. Like if I put a bunch of effort into this thing, it will eventually come back and hit me right here. Now, if I don't, well, karma's going to hit me. Simple as that. If I don't take care of myself, if I stop going to the gym, what's going to happen? I might feel sick. I might not be active. Like I might not have a bunch of energy. I might be moody, you know, things like that. So that's what I'm saying though. Like you got to just keep striving to be a better version of yourself. And if you're in a relationship and you really care about the person, help them, guide them. You guys are together for a reason. I believe in the, you know, someone out there is a missing rib of yours. If you found that, good for you. Consider yourself a rare coincidence, you know? Not necessarily, but you get what I'm saying. In this society, you rarely hear that anymore. But I'm sure there's plenty of them out there, and don't think it's unrealistic. It really isn't. It will come to you. He will come to you at some point in your life. I promise you that. Only. I shouldn't say only, but I'm going to say it in this context just so you do go after your goals. Only if you go after your goals. Even when you do get them, right? Like I said, don't be up their ass all the time. Work on yourself too. And they will respect you more, both man and woman. Like if you're a man and your woman's not up your ass all the time, she's working on herself, you know, in the gym, getting smart, whatever. You would respect that, right? And if you're a woman, you'd respect it out of your man as well, I feel like. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I know like when people see people in gyms, they respect them. That's why when people have good bodies, they're like, oh, you know, subconsciously, they're like, oh, I respect this guy. They're not outright going to come out and say it, but they're like, oh, yeah, he's got a nice body. Or, oh, yeah, she's got a nice body. And it's respect. So when you see someone putting in hard work, no matter what gender you are, you're going to get respect from either gender. So when you're in a relationship with somebody and you see that they're working themselves while being with you, that just shows that they're respecting not only themselves, but you as well. Because they're like, I got this guy. I'm not going to take him for granted. I'm going to put my best foot forward, best version of myself forward. And every day I'm going to progress. And that's a good thing. So, it like I said, you simply cannot let yourself go. I cannot stress this enough. This is where people get in the worst parts of their life, their worst relationships, when they stop trying. They stop giving a shit. They treat each other like shit, and then they wonder why it doesn't work, or wonder why they're so, angry all the time and pissed off because they don't respect each other. They don't respect themselves. And then, like, with your health, you live with yourself for so long, you're like, I'm just throw it away. No, that is not an excuse. Keep going up. Me personally, I like being healthy because I want to be 70 one day and be able to move around still. Like, not saying that's my main goal, it's not. But that's one of, like, my little side goals. It's like, when I get to this age, I know it's possible to still be able to move around really well as long as I take care of myself. So, basically the whole thing in this video is, no matter what aspect of your life, if there's a goal, and even if there's not a goal, like if it's a relationship, I guess that can be a goal. Anyways, if there's a goal, go after that goal. Do not let go of it. And then when you do have it, work even harder. Because when you do get to that goal, it's not an excuse to just stop, right? Like when you look at Elon Musk, when he made his first $1 billion, did he stop? No, he kept going. He kept making more and more and more. When you look at Jeff Bezos, made his first billion. Did he stop after that? No, he kept going. So, people at the gym, you see these big people like Bradley Martin, all that, they're already huge, right? They have what they want. Do they stop? No. I'm just throwing names out there, so don't think I'm like, oh, he's doing specifics. No. I'm throwing names out there, just big names that people kind of recognize. And like, you look at these people that are jacked or whatever, or rich, or this and that, or healthy relationships. Maybe you see an older couple and you're like, man, I want that one day. And you see, like, maybe you see this 80-year-old man, get a rose from the grocery store, from a, what are they called? Brochure. I know I did not say that right. But anyways, the flower, boutique store, something like that. If you see an old man get a flower from the boutique store and give it to his wife, who's also like 80, you're like, oh, that's cute. I hope to have that one day. You can have that one day as long as you keep pushing forward. Don't take your life for granted in general. Don't take your body for granted. Don't take your health for granted. Don't take your money for granted. And then once you get into that relationship, you're like, man, I do not want to let go of this. I want to be with this person forever. You do not let them go, and you don't allow them to let go either. You make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, and they put their best foot forward as well. And I genuinely think you do that, you're on your path to a very successful life. Can't promise anything, I really can't, but that's just how I see it. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. So I guess take anything I say with a grain of salt, but no, this is how I believe, and everybody makes it sound like, oh, it's so unrealistic to do that. It really isn't. It really is not. Like, it is not realistic, or it's not unrealistic to have a very fulfilling relationship with somebody for your whole life, as long as you keep showing that you appreciate each other, and never take it for granted. Make sure you're always appreciating. How would that get old? Like, really think about it. If somebody sat there and, like, when you do something for somebody, they say thank you, does that ever get boring? Are you ever like, oh, he said thank you, what a piece of shit? No. When somebody says, hey, can I please get this? Can you please help me? Or at any moment, are you like, oh, what a piece of shit he is? He said please. No. So when you're in a relationship and you're complimenting somebody, you're like, and you can literally simply say, I appreciate you. Boom. Probably the biggest compliment ever. You don't hear that either. So seriously, like, this stuff goes a long way. You just have to just simply put in the work. And really, if you love the person, you love your job, you love your body, you love yourself, is it really even work? No. So when you love yourself and you appreciate yourself, you respect yourself, you love your spouse, appreciate her, appreciate him, you love him to death, is it ever going to get boring that you're showing appreciation to them or yourself? You show appreciation to yourself by taking care of yourself. You take care of your health. You watch what you eat. You watch what you do throughout the day. You're always active. You're doing your thing. No, that would never get old. You get into a business, does it get boring that you're putting in effort into the business when it's making you a bunch of money? No. If you're on social media and you see that your effort is helping a bunch of people, does that ever get boring? I mean, I guess some people might, but if you're doing it for that reason, would that get boring? No. So it's like, really, people take their life for granted way too often, and I'm just making this video just so that I can get that point across. Like, don't take your life for granted. Always put your best foot forward. Always better yourself each and every day. Help others do it too. And yes, are you gonna run into people that don't want to listen to you, that don't care? Yeah, and guess what? Don't waste your time on them. Like, you can keep trying. I've done it in my time too. Like, I've tried with people and it never worked. Nothing ever happened. They just kept doing the same thing over and over again, and then guess what? I don't talk to them anymore. Not because I hate them. It's just because I know that if I keep those people around in my life, I'm limiting myself to growth, and I'm holding myself back. Because I really do want to bring people with me along my journey. I really do. But sometimes you have to face the harsh reality of that you can't bring everybody. And sometimes that is your friends. Sometimes that's your family, teachers, doctors. I mean, I'm just throwing out names, but it's anybody. It doesn't matter if they're blood. It doesn't matter if they're your chosen family. Sometimes it happens, and it's up to you to decide. Is this gonna hurt me or help me? Don't know. It's your life. But I hope you get something out of this video. I really like making them. Follow me. It means a lot. I really do hope that your mindset will get better, and I hope that this video opens up your mind a little bit. You know, just appreciate the people that are in your life. Appreciate yourself. And if you are having that really nice job of yours, or you want to start that business, I say go for it. Even if it doesn't work out, who cares? Like, you live on this earth one time. Go for it. Take the risk. People don't even do that. People don't even take the risk. They don't care enough. But if you have that thought that's constantly coming up in your head, and I personally believe God gave that thought to you for a reason. Most people don't even think that it's even possible for them to get rich. That's why they resent rich people so much. So if your goal is to get successful, get rich, do whatever, take this as your sign to finally take that best foot forward and do that thing. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, at least when you're 80, you can say, I tried and it just didn't work out. And even if it doesn't work out, I say keep trying. Do something else. Experiment. You know, it's never the end. You know, you have your whole life to do whatever you want. Don't live for someone else. Live for you. Just be a good person. We need more good people in this society. Now I'm kind of rambling, but you get my point. Never let yourself go. Always put your best foot forward. Always be the better version of yourself from yesterday. Keep God in your life, and that's it. And like I always say, life isn't too short to make a change.